Welcome to Sabbath Session Podcast, and today we have got me, the person that always starts rumors, and of course the 2024 Sheffield champion of champions, Agata. How you doing?
Um, Getting back into the groove. Already not thinking about Sheffield anymore, but thinking about Worlds and what we're gonna do there.
Look, I'm gonna go straight into it because people in this podcast with me, I don't hold back for my questions, right? If it's too much you can't answer, just find something to blag it off. I'm fine with it, but I will answer the question. Is a Sheffield check the biggest check you've ever had in your life?
Yeah.
I know you're 21. People will go to me, yeah, but she's 21 years old. When did she ever had the opportunity to earn that much money? No, no, no. There are 21-year-old that are earning big money. Especially nowadays, we have go influencers. They're making a hell of money, and some people are on OnlyFans. They're earning more. I'm not saying Agatha is on OnlyFans.
I'm not.
Yeah, see, I don't want to start any other rumors, right? I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, Agatha said she's on OnlyFans. I don't want to start that. So again, talk to me about the money itself because I know it has not arrived to your account yet because you have to wait through the drug testing. Can you explain to our listeners how does it actually work when you get paid by these big sponsors? Because people just think like if we compete, we win or whatever, the money is there in our account next day. Can you just explain a little bit how that parts work?
So SBD always waits for the official test results of everyone who competed at the meet, and then they are able to send us the money. So, for instance, for Worlds that happened in June 2023, I got the money in January 2024. So sometimes we wait for a very long time before getting the money, but usually it's around 1 to 3 months, I would say.
Mhm. Again, just a little bit of clarity on this slide is, for instance, the reason they wait for the drug test results to come in is because if someone that, for instance, plays the both you that have tested positive, and that person might not get a bonus and might not get the check, and that check will go to you. That's why they wait until all the test result comes back. So that means, like for instance, this week we had I've seen the stories in British powerlifting where one of the lifter in I think it was in South Africa or Malta tested positive in a 120 plus. So the person that came third was knocked down the podium, and one of our own lifter, which is Aaron got that bronze medal. So congratulations again, Aaron. There, great effort. But again, this is one of the things that we always say: if you want to cheat into the sport, please go to the places where people are actually authorized these kind of things, and then they're used to it. Basically, go to the untested. If you wanna use whatever, go there. You know. So anyway, I'm not gonna start that conversation again about untested because we've spoke about it. Agata, where Agata will be in 10 years' time. So not now. So just talk about Sheffield now. So again, I mean, massive congratulations on this one. Anybody that will sit there and say, I did not see this coming, they're lying, they don't like you, they're not your fan, and probably you should unfollow them. But the reality is, everybody that saw this from this training where you started training for Sheffield, and when not the rumors, but when the news broke down, but I wanted to break the news before everybody because me and you spoke about this before you went on KOTL, but I kept it. See, I kept that one really safe. I did not talk about that until you went to
Thank
KOTL.
you.
So anyone that saw you probably could predict the podium at Sheffield would be the 69 because 69 was the lowest world record leading to Sheffield. All of you guys literally were gunning for it, and then the result was there. You three just smashed it out of the water. So I'm gonna go and ask you in terms of like, was the decision to cut down to 69, was it just purely due to the fact that world record was low, or was it purely the fact that okay, there was Leia and Corolla there, the storyline would be great because in KOTO you mentioned about this yourself. You said you thrive where there is massive competition. That's when you thrive. You don't chase accolade, you just chase competition. And I'm not saying in the 76 there's no competition because Karlina is there. Do you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
can't say there's no competition. It's just ridiculous. So was it this like appealing to you to go to 69 due to the world record being lower and also having arguably two of the best powerlifters on the female side of all time? Was it that the incentive?
So the main reason was because of the world record. I knew that if I ever had a chance to win Sheffield, it would be this year after cutting down to the 69s. And that's what was the most important thing. I was excited about the battle with Leah and Carola, but that did not, like, this was not what made me cut down. The reason was just because I wanted to win Sheffield.
Great. I mean, again, mean, no one can afford to that decision. I know we're calling it nowadays. You did an EV because two people have done it. I mean, I know in KOTL you guys said two people, but realistically, two women have done it. But there's a man that has done it as well. Kim Monagari has done it. Tim Monagari has done it. So realistically, that's an EV move nowadays. We have to brand the EV. It's three people already.
Yep.
So again, I know the training leading to Sheffield. Me and you were talking. Even your training leading to Malta was different from leading to Sheffield because due to the water, I'm sorry, the weight cut, you had to diet and also make sure you keep your strength. And you went to do girl power. So I'm just want to get a little bit insight from you. You know, when you went to do girl power, was it one of those comp that potentially tested you and you realized, oh my god, I kept my strength. I'm gonna be fine for Sheffield. Or was it one of them ones? I'm not too sure.
No, I was really confident after that because I was able to hit a 195 squat at that competition. I wasn't worried about bench or deadlifts because they were both going great in training, but my squat was shit. I would be hitting singles at like 170, 180 that were pretty heavy. So to be able to go on a platform and actually hit close to 200, that made me confident that I could regain some strength in the squat as well. And
So,
then going for that third deadlift to pull for 600 made me realize that it's not that unrealistic and that I could potentially hit 600 as a 69.
so can you tell everyone's listening to us, right? How did you mask your weight at girls' power? Because me and you spoke about it, and I said to myself, "You are crazy." How did you end up, well, at girls' power, weighting heavier than what you normally wear? Because that you literally mastered that. Because if you went to girls' power and weigh what you weighed the night before, people would be known that, oh yeah, she's cutting down to 70 to 69. That's easy. You know what I mean? How did you mask it? How did you cover it?
I just ate a lot of food, like 2 days before the competition. I tried to eat as much salt as possible and drink a lot of water. And then on the day of the competition, before the weigh-ins, I also ate a lot and drank a lot of water to just gain as much weight as possible.
So that's crazy. So you, some of us, when we go into comps, especially when I mean, anyone who's listening to us who's not into powerlifting, is we do a 2 hours weigh in. So yeah, when we go to comp, sometime when you wake up, if you weigh in as a one, especially if you have to make weight, you intend not to drink any fluid, just not to get a bump up the body weight. So what you did to mask your actually true body weight, you drank and ate just before weigh-in. So people will say like, oh yeah, she's heavy. You came in at what, 70, was it 74?
74.8, something like that.
So realistically, you were around hovering around 71, 70 kilos, you know, and you bumped it up to 74 to just make people believe like, yeah, I'm gonna go up against Carlina. You are savage. You are savage. Anyway, moving on to girls' power. Of course, talk to me through about the training itself. How did training went from you training? How did you feel from you training as a 76 to compete as a 76 and you training while cutting down to 69? How was it? Because I know um, in a lot of podcasts you spoke about how you did not really feel the difference. You kept your strength and the calories was up there. Again, this is probably the importance of having a nutrition into our life. You know, that helps control those variables. So, but realistically, how did you feel like in the beginning? Did you feel like something that was going wrong, or did you feel like something that you would not be able to do? Because I'm not talking about physically here, I'm talking about mentally as well.
It wasn't tough at the beginning of the cut. I wasn't hungry at all. I was actually happy that I'm in a calorie deficit because I had to force feed myself before work. So that was like a nice little break from eating. I feel like one of the problems was my back. I injured it pretty bad at the beginning of last year, then it got a little bit better before and afterwards, but leading up to Girl Power, it got worse again. And that might have been partially caused because of the deficit, because, you don't, you know, so
I mean,
that,
when you say like deficit, you mean like basically, I mean, again, these are the terms that some people don't really get when they listen to this. Deficit, basically you eating less food.
yeah,
So eating less food and training in a high intensity. I mean, how did you recover from it? Because I mean, I am with Kedrick, and Kedrick always tell me you need to eat food to recover from your heavy sessions and or heavy training. So how did you manage to recover from your heavy training while you were on a deficit? Is that something else you included?
just I started paying much more attention into my sleep to get a lot of sleep and good quality sleep. I started eating even more protein than before because I've always paid attention to that, but just started eating even more and going for daily walks
Mhm.
just to get some steps in. That's pretty much it. I didn't start doing anything else.
So what about in terms of like a sport massage and every now and then? Because again, because what you did is you normally sit to what? You normally sit around right 78, 79 kilos, isn't it? Normally when you're 76,
No,
you sit less than
usually at
76.
around 75, 76.
So if you sit around 75, 76, for you to go down to 69, I mean, that's still a lot of weight. You know what I mean? So apart from the walks and the sleep, did you get any sports massage during that just to help the body going?
Uh, I usually, if I go to a physiotherapist, it's when I know I need help with something specific.
Okay.
So it's more like that.
So this time, because you didn't need it, you just want like, look, I'm gonna do the Agata style. I'll walk, sleep, and then go and do SPD. That's it. It'll be good. So again, you mentioned, I heard you mention about your training has changed in terms of like actually letting someone guide your training rather than Agatha going on her laptop, writing numbers and calling the coach. What do you think about this? Okay. Or is something like you've given that responsibility to someone to look at, to look, to do for you. So did you think that has have a massive impact as well in your style? Because now you're a full-time powerlifter, right? It's
Yeah.
almost like you need a team around you to be consistent and doing that, giving that power back to your coach. Do you think that's helped you and the training you've been doing lately?
Yeah, definitely. He's much more experienced and knowledgeable in this whole programming thing, so he just can get more data from the program itself, and he knows how to react and change things to make it work. So
So
that would
basically,
definitely help.
the six times, the six time SPD days a week you were doing before, it was nothing to do with your coach, isn't it? That was just you being you.
Yeah, I started training like this before I started working with him, and just told him that that's my training style, and I'm not willing to change it now.
So you were stubborn. I mean, to be fair, that training style got you to where you are. Do you know what I mean? Got you into the battle with Jess. Got you to win equipped world games. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's no many people can sit and say, okay, I got a gold medal at the world games. No many can do that. So that training style got you that far. I mean, again, I would say everybody that hold the barbell nowadays, they want to become coaches, right? And yourself and some of us are probably the only lifters on the planet that believe coaching should be given to people that actually have the skills and the knowledge for it. and you agree with me. It's not because Agata is a Sheffield winner or a world game winner can become a coach. Because one question will lead there: Are you a coach? Probably say no,
No,
please. Brilliant.
no. People sometimes ask me if I want to coach them, but I know that I just don't have enough knowledge right now. And just seeing how many things my coach takes into consideration when writing a program and how many things he calculates and all of that, it's really complicated. And I just feel overwhelmed just thinking about learning all of that. So I don't want to do that right now. And I don't have the skill to coach someone.
To me, that's key. You're honest about it. I'm honest about it. I said I'm a lifter. You know, I'm pretty good at what I do, and I'm not a coach. I don't think I'm going to be good at a coach. Do you know what I mean? And I admit that. So my question to that is a little bit controversial. I would just ask, what's your views about all of these coaches popping around like pebbles? How do you view it? Because to me, I know people will say it's good for the sport, it's good for powerlifting, but at the same time, I think like, yes, but how much knowledge do you have to actually transfer across? There's not enough. So why? Why do this? So what's your view on this one?
Not everyone should be a coach, definitely. And some people just hurt the people they coach because they don't have enough knowledge.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
exactly. So I mean, personally, I think like when you have a new person, you're coaching a new person, there's always that newbie gains, right? You think, oh, this person is improving, yeah. But what about that person when you start hitting some life stress and where the performance is just stuck? Do you have the key to unlock that next level? Maybe that's where that knowledge comes in. But if you don't have that knowledge, then why be a coach? But anyway, let's close that book because people come on my throat here talking like renting coaches. I love you guys. All the job you're doing is fantastic. Keep on doing what you're doing. It's great for the sport. Yeah. So going back to the training before Sheffield, of course, he said cutting weight training was not really difficult because you had a team around you. So when we talk about team, I know I always talk about team. I have my team. I trust my team. Agata, can you talk to me through about your team? Who are part of your team?
So there's my coach, Paweł Jurczyński, his wife, who is also a coach. They have a team together, and she's also involved in some of my programming, and she's usually present at my sessions that I do with my coach. We have like a group chat together, the three of us, where I send all my lifting videos, ask for advice and explanation if I don't know anything. She's Ula Jurczyńska. Then there's my nutritionist, Damian Parol. He got me through most of the cut, the hardest part, the cut before the competition and all. And I would also like to include my boyfriend, who always drags me to our daily walks when I just want to lay on the couch. Because usually with me on my training sessions, we always do the heaviest sessions together, and yeah, helps with cooking and all that stuff.
So again, what you just said, shout out to your boyfriend because literally like pushing you through the hardest time of cutting so you can train and achieve what you've achieved. He need his accolades. So yeah, shout out to him. Again, it just shows the level you are in. You can't just reach this type of level doing that by yourself. You need people and knowledge around you, and of course the support you got from your partner to get to you where you are. Because there's some people thinking, I can, yeah, I know powerlifting is not a team sport, it's an individual sport, but outside the platform you need a team. You know, in the team. And myself, I'm a massive victim of it. I've learned it in a later stage of my powerlifting career. Not later stage, but I learned it like what 7 or 6, 7 years late. You know, but again, we're there. We're still trying to put the work in. Again, like of course with the coach, with the programming locked in, leading to Sheffield, you decided you're dropping down because of the world record is less at Sheffield, and you're gonna go for it. So now you go to Sheffield. Of course, there's the media. You've been to Sheffield before. One thing I'm gonna ask is, what is the experience for you at Sheffield this year and last year? If there's things you have to add or remove, what those things would be?
It was pretty similar to last year's experience. outside of the fact that I was going into this year knowing that I could win, and last year knowing that I could lose. So, but the production around it was pretty much the same.
Mm.
The only thing that was a little bit not perfect was the fact that when we had all those media things going around, there would be some things would be late, or like, I don't know, we would have to reschedule them sometimes.
Mm.
But part of this was not the team's fault, because it snowed in Sheffield on Thursday and some people couldn't get back from training. So
So basically,
just
like everything was perfect except, of course, the media, the time scale, and all of that, and the weather did not help as well. There's one thing I'll ask, right, with the because I mean, you guys been there twice as lifters. The experience from lifters and the experience for people that us coming in to watch is totally different, two different experience. There's one thing we mentioned on our Sheffield experience was I mean, with the size of the event itself, do you think, would you agree to say maybe one day is not enough for the spectators for that couple of hours and probably create like a Sheffield event where there's one day, people lift or the day before people go and, you have tours at the SPD HQ. So just before SPD to open, the place for people to view. Do you think that's something probably can add a little bit more incentive into Sheffield itself?
that would be interesting. I can't talk as a spectator because I haven't been to Sheffield as a spectator.
Yeah, don't take the
But
piss. Jesus Christ. Jesus, thank you very much. Carry on.
but yeah, I think that would be interesting, but probably pretty hard to organize with this many people. So,
VIP. There's VIP ticket. You
oh
know,
yeah,
use
right.
the VIP tickets to do something like that. Basically, it's just to add that incentives against the event because I feel like Sheffield is such an amazing powerlifting meet, but after that last deadlift, it drops. It's almost like everything is done. It's all about okay, you guys have got a banquet, but after that, the viewers, what else do you have? You got that buzzing going around you. It's almost like it's not enough, especially that people that fly around the world to come and watch Sheffield, to come to Sheffield. And when it's over, you just go like, oh, for fuck's sake, I want a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? It's like I think that's when SPD need to think a little bit what extra can be added into this one. I mean, in terms of like you as the lifter to Sheffield, like of course the hospitality I'm hearing across the board, the hospitality this year was amazing in terms of like the way they look after you guys. Getting into that hotel and then the training and the place. And is there, in terms of those logistics, is that something that probably as a lifter you thought like, yeah, this is a little bit too much energy. Can they do less of this? Is there anything they could do less?
Not for me. It was the perfect amount of like activity. I did all the media stuff on Thursday, so I was free on Friday to do my things. So
So let me ask you this. This is a rumor I've created, right? Because you call it like Jones created this rumor. I didn't create this rumor. I've heard this somewhere. Tell me when you went on a walk or you took a tour of the event and when you saw the trophy. When people were saying don't touch, when people were wearing gloves, what was Agata's reaction?
so Ben asked us if we want to try to hold the trophy, and I said I want to try to hold the trophy to practice before Saturday. So I did that.
So basically, when people were saying it's bad luck, and Agata said, fuck you lot, I'm gonna try and hold it because that's what I'm gonna hold on Saturday. It's mine.
I think French people said it's bad luck and they didn't want to hold it. But yeah, it's
But that's
not
what.
bad luck in Poland.
So it's not bad luck in Poland. In Poland, it's good luck. And then on Saturday, you end up holding the trophy. So how heavy was that trophy? Was it that? Because I've been told it's a very pretty heavy trophy.
Yeah, it's 18 kilos.
18 kilos. To be honest, with the size of your biceps and the bench that you bench on the platform, so that should be the problem anyway. It will be a problem to some people, but for you, it should be piece easy.
It, it's not. that heavy, but when you have to hold it for a longer time, it does get kind of heavy. So I was a bit. I didn't remember if they played the national anthem during the award ceremony. So I was holding it like this. My bicep started getting tired, and I was like, "Please don't play the anthem. Please don't play the anthem." Because nah, I died.
So when are you getting your trophy, by the way? When is it something that you flew to Poland with it, or is it something SPD will probably send on a very VIP package to you?
They'll send it. I don't know when. I guess they're also waiting for the test results before sending them. That would make sense.
I mean, this is what just makes Sheffield so incredible, right? It's not just a meet where you win, they give you the accolade, they give you the prize money, they give it. It's almost like there's almost like a legitimacy around there where you win, you're tested, you're retested again, the results come in, and then you get your reward and or you get your check. So which is incredible to me. Again, like it's something that no one can take away, right? No one can say, "Oh, that person was on juice." No, I was tested. Here's the result on that day. Do you know what I mean? So you can't
Yes,
even, yeah, you can't even chat shit on this one.
es-
So
especially because they also tested us randomly before the competition. All of us for urine and blood, and then urine on the day. So
that's
we've
just
been tested
madness.
twice.
So it means like they've ticked all the boxes to create a very, very clean event. So we can't even complain about this one. In terms of like the comp itself, Agatha, of course, last year the noise was there. Like, as you said, like you went last year, you knew like, oh, I'm gonna lose. And last year you were one of the lucky ones. You didn't bomb out on that bench. You know, I was thinking like, oh my lord, if she bombed out, this is the funny thing is, right? If you bombed that last year and you won this year, he would have been pretty much like that Gavin story where he missed that score world record last year and this year he buried it on the second. Do you know what I mean? So almost like it's almost like a good and bad story. It would, if if I was you, I would have bombed out last year, come this year and win. Do you know what I mean?
Not like coming from last to first in a year is also a
Yeah,
bit of a story.
it's pretty much the same, isn't it? So you come last to first, and yeah, the competition itself, in terms of like the atmosphere, what made it different this year? I'm not talking about experience, but the atmosphere. What made it different compared to last year?
I was much more focused on the crowd. Last year, I was just tired when competing, kind of mad because I was so weak and I didn't really enjoy it. Also, that whole bench thing made me very stressed and I didn't really pay attention to what was going around me. And this year, I was much more focused on lifting, on seeing the crowd, seeing all those powerlifting fans in one place. That was really cool. And I think it was even a little bit louder than last year.
Mhm.
So the atmosphere was just great.
I mean, with being on that platform, did he feel like, damn, I'm a superstar?
Mm, I didn't think about that when competing. A little bit later, when I would bump into people walking around the town screaming at us, that was like, oh, that's cool.
But do you get the same experience in Poland when you walk around, people see that's Agata, or you only get that experience when you travel around the world around powerlifting?
I do sometimes get approached by people at the gym. I even someone talked to me while walking down the street with my sister who was like, "Oh, are you Agata Shitko?" And I was like, damn, someone actually recognized me on the street. So it happens sometimes.
That's great to know. That again, like that's I know a lot of people are asking you about the impact you're having on the Polish powerlifting because for people that don't know, Poland has always been a powerlifting nation. Over the years, you guys have produced names or big names. One of the most prominent one out of all of you guys, apart from you doing the madness you're doing right now, is of course we call him Christoph, but you guys don't call him Christoph. What do you guys call him?
Krzysztof.
Say it again.
Krzysztof.
So you guys call him Shistov, right? We call him Christoph. So one of the biggest name you guys produce. So it's one of them ones like, do you think because them not being on the platform anymore, you being on the platform, do you think that burden has come to you to almost like push the nation forward?
I don't know. I feel like it's the much more about the federation
Mm.
to improve, to like actually get people to compete on the tested side. I would like to help them, but uh, it's a bit complicated. So
So,
I
but
don't.
you've been, I mean, of course, you are the best female lifter in RPF, right? I'm not talking about who won best lifter award championship, which was kudos to him, Natalie Richard. But what you did at Sheffield put your name above the rest. So, do you think that has also influenced or has changed your relationship with your federation in terms of like what you're doing? Because when you're the poster girl, when you're at the top, they have to utilize the opportunity to push the sport forward. Do you think that has changed?
Unfortunately, I don't really think so. They didn't even post anything about Sheffield on their social media, which is pretty sad. So yeah,
So you didn't even get an email or a message or nothing from the board congratulating you.
just the head coach of our team.
Yeah, I think this is why in powerlifting we are really behind. We're failing our top lifters because there's no support in our federations when you go home. It's almost like, as they said, it's a one-man sport. Is you do for you, you go home and you feel like, yeah, I've done it for me. Just like, of course, you're not expecting money. You're just expecting the recognitions. You're just expecting someone to say, well done, we watch you, we support you. And sometimes it feels so angry to even go on a platform and wear the Polish flag for the, because you're not talking about the nation. I'm talking about the federation, because if you're wearing the flag, you're wearing your federation flag on it as well. Almost
Yeah.
it pisses you off because there's no support from them. So how does that make you feel? Because me, I'm really passionate about it because it does piss me off if the federation is not behind the athlete. I don't like it. So how do you feel about it?
It's a bit annoying, but not because I want to be recognized by them, but because I just want the sport to grow in Poland, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't seem like they're trying to achieve this. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you know it could help if they started posting stuff on social media, like showing that we have lifters like this, because I feel like Sheffield is what's pushing powerlifting to grow, because what kind of event this is. So spreading things about it, how to qualify and all that kind of stuff would help the growth of powerlifting in Poland, because people would see that there's a meet like this that's a totally different league than any other meet in powerlifting, and that could make them want to start competing in the IPF just to try to qualify for Sheffield. So the fact that they're not even using this, it's annoying. Like they don't even want the sport to grow.
100%. I agree with you because the likes of Sheffield has brought in all the big names from the USAPL
Yeah.
into PA. It's Sheffield. I don't care what people say. Sheffield brought them over. You know what I mean? And because of the way Sheffield was advertised and run, and put him into their eyes, into everybody's eyes, everybody's ears. That's why you see these big names coming, because you never know. As you said, you advertise Sheffield well in Poland. You don't know what freak that might come out. We didn't know that Agata would turn up. Agata came out of nowhere, and now, no one can even think when Agata is on the list. People thinking, oh, I might as well just go on a holiday. Do you know what I mean? So these are what powerlifting can do. This is what federation can do, just to help grow the sport across the board. But talking about growing the sports, yeah, you done Sheffield, you won Sheffield, you got a bigger check at Sheffield, and now the Arnolds. So what are we looking for there, the Arnold? What's the objectives here for the Arnold? What is it? What are we looking for here?
I just want to win with the smallest total possible, just to get the money, but without going all out.
So at the Arnold's, you're not going to be a 69, right? You
Nope,
will be a 76 at the
very
Arnold.
light 76.
Very light 76 at the Arnold. If you kept your Sheffield strength, you're likely to be shooting close to the world record, no? Is that the plan or is it not?
Hmm.
I don't want to create a rumor, so you might as well just tell me here before I start telling people something else. right?
You know what? uh, my coach said I might be able to squat over 200 at the Arnolds, looking at how squats are going right now. If that's the case, then maybe if I'm strong enough, I might go for the 76 kilo world record just to hit it as a very light 76. If no, then I'm just gonna do as little as I have to.
I think probably that's a good plan in terms of like doing what you need to do to win. But if you're strong enough, you go over the 76 world record. So when I would title my episode, I would say Agata to go over 76 world record at the Arnold. So that's no rumor. Me and you spoke about it. We agree with it, right?
Yeah,
Let's lock it. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see like you just did the Sheffield. A few weeks later, you're doing the Arnolds, and for me, you're probably doing this is because, as you said, powerlifting is your full time job now because you don't have any other job, and of course, the income need to come in. As much as Sheffield is a bigger check coming in, but we need to find a way where income will come in, and of course, Arnold is offering you that. And to be honest, it's going to be a mental vacation, as I'll quote Bob Matthew there. It's a mental vacation for you to win the Arnold. You don't need to go hard on it. But again, if the strength is there, why not? But making sure you push that world record, just going to make things hard for yourself and Carlina, a world, and at Sheffield the year after. You know, has it that become almost like something into the elite mindset, or anytime I compete internationally, I need to be careful what I'm doing.
yeah, but I know that to win the Battle of the 76s at Worlds, I will probably need to go over the world record anyways. So I don't care about that much for the Arnolds.
Makes sense, makes sense. So I mean, like, even if you push that world record to fifth or 6:15 or 6:12 or whatever, at world, you just have to go above it again. Right? Which
Yeah,
is like it's just incredible. But in terms of future plans, I know you're doing the Arnolds. Can you tell me a bit like I know I saw your list on on the crypt bench and classic. What the hell is wrong with you?
it's just more money. If I'm going there anyways, I can just grab another bit of cash.
So two checks. So what's the bench price money? Is that 3,000 or 4,000 euros?
It's 2000 this year.
2,000. And the classic is 3,000.
Yeah,
Basically, you go in there, you do classic on Friday, and then you do equipped bench on Sunday.
yeah.
So how's the prep? I'm not gonna ask for classic because we already know where it is. How's the prep for bench going? Equipped bench going? Because you've just recently dusted up your bench shirt. How is it going?
Terrible, as equipped prep always goes. I
But,
hit
but
last week. I hit an ugly 195 kilo single. This week I hit an even uglier 200 kilo single. That was definitely not to come standard. Then I hit two fails, and that was it for the session. So
so you dusted your shirt. You put your shirt on. First session, you hit 195 kilos, and you saying that shit.
um, I'm not sure if that was to come standard either. So need to clean that up.
How much do you think you would need for you to be able to win the Arnold?
I'm not really sure. It depends on what weight class Sonia Kruger will compete in and what she will hit. I think that's the biggest opponent for this one.
But you're not gonna go there and open. But by the way, congratulations in Sheffield. You actually listened. You didn't open aggressively,
Hmm?
right?
But I opened up above the world record.
Yes, but still, knowing you, I was expecting like 150 kilos on the bar as an opener. Do you know what I mean? But that was conservatively well planned. You know what I mean? Congratulations on that. So the Arnolds, you're not gonna do a madness, are you?
No, just enough to win again.
Good, good
But
one.
like the problem with bench shirt is that you need enough weight to be able to lower the bar to your chest to get the touch, because if you put too little you won't get the touch, but not too much to where you can't press it because you're too weak to
Mhm.
finish the rep. So
You're still a junior, right? And again, you're doing all these money meets, and of course, you're gonna do the Arnolds, and then a world. You spoke about it clearly in KOTL. You have unfinished business of Carlina. You're going up against Carlina. right? So, and then for those who don't know, you're 21 years old, and this is your time. Your body's recovering and fast. You can do it, and you're doing it. So you're going up against Karlina, which is not going to be an easy battle. Karlina is one of them ones where, again, she's Tongan, where she's just a warrior. You know what I mean? You spoke about it yourself. Her squat is just disgusting. All right, so it's not going to be an easy battle going up against Karlina, but do you have a plan of how you can beat Karlina a world? Or is it just I'm gonna get stronger and beat her?
Just get stronger and better. Is there really anything else I could do?
Is it not even like I need to work on my squats because that's the weakest lift. If I can score about 220, then my life is easy.
Yeah, we're working on that squat now. Before Sheffield, I was doing 4 deadlifts and 3 squats per week. We switched that now, so now I'm doing 4 squats and 3 deadlifts per week. So yeah, hopefully I can finally get respectable
You're
squats.
doing how many squats?
Or
4. And then anyone that tells me I squat 3 times a week and sometimes 4, people tell me, oh, that's a lot. They should listen to this one anyway. But I know we're not on the same level. You're a Sheffield champion. I'm not. I've never even touched the Sheffield platform. I don't even know how it feels that carpet. Anyway, bastard. Anyway, let's see. But anyway, moving on. Like, of course, you're gonna do the World Championship of Carlina. There is a meet. You're still 21, so you're still a junior. I've seen the advertising meet, like some junior meet coming in the summer in July. I think. I don't know where the location is. Is a money meet. Is it something you're gonna
yeah,
consider after World?
yeah, I'm thinking about that. It's in Amsterdam, and there's classic bench and classic powerlifting. It's just it's a junior competition, so only juniors will compete, and I think it's the same prize monies as the Arnold's, so 3,000 for powerlifting and 2,000 for bench press. So yeah, I might do that. My brother lives in Netherlands, so I could visit him.
So basically, you just go on a family holiday and then winnings £5,000 on the process because
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen. You got that opportunity being 21 where you can literally like rub shoulder with these juniors and rub shoulder with seniors because you are that strong. So basically, what we're talking about: Arnold World Juniors in July and Equipped in November.
And
That's
possibly
amazing.
girl power in
You're
September.
doing girls power again. So what's the
Yep.
what in what body weight are you going to be doing this? Are you going to be doing this to be in the 70s, 76, or is this something for you thinking to bulk up a little bit or cut down in some of them?
I'll have to bulk up for the equipped worlds because I want to hit a 300 kilo squat. So I'll be competing there at around 8 kilos, I think. So I will probably be a little bit over the 76s at girl power.
So in terms of like you mentioned there, equipped world hitting 300 squats, like under 80 kilo or 80 kilos. So that again, that means that's almost that not even almost that's another qualification for you for the World Games. So it means so are you trying to qualify classic and equipped because if you win against Carolina or even you podium become second or third, that's another automatic invite to the World Games 2025 in China. So what's happening here? Are you just doing everything to yourself? You just trying to hold everything on your side and not give people the opportunity, or what's going on?
That was the goal before I found out that you can only compete in one like event at the World Games. So if I qualify for row, I will have to compete row and I can compete equipped. You can only compete in one, which is a bit sad. So yeah,
But which one would you choose though?
row, definitely.
Even though the criteria for role is a little bit different because when you look at equipped, again, I mean, no shade to the equipped lifters around the world, they're stronger women, but you've won equipped to gold at the World Games. So leading to the another World Games, that put you a favorite to winning again. But in the role, it's totally different because raw, they mix weight classes. So out of 76, you've been mixed with a 69, am I right?
Yeah,
And 84, or just 69.
no, just 69
So
and
76, you're going up
76.
at 69, and the 84, they're going up at 84 plus,
Yeah,
right? So you going up against 69. That means we're getting another Sheffield battle.
yeah.
right? So we're getting another Leah in, we're getting another Corolla in because again they both said they're staying as a 69, and then you're adding, you know, the killer of Karlina in the mix. So there's four of you potentially there going up against each other. That's gonna be bonkers. Have you ever thought about it? Because me talking up to you now and thinking about it, I'm just thinking, for fuck's sake, really? So you're looking forward to going to a battle, to a harder battle than winning world games equipped. So basically what you're saying, Raw will mean more than they equipped.
Yeah, I, as I've said before, I don't care about titles. I care about the battles. And what's the point of winning world games again easily if I've already done that and there wasn't really a battle at all going on? I just want to go for the raw title and
Just
have a.
just imagine, right? You go to the world games, you go up against Carlina, Carola, Leah, and yourself. You go and win. I mean, you should retire after that. What else? What else is there to do? Do you know what I mean? That's ridiculous. That is talking about it. I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm waiting for a battle like that. That would be incredible. So again, this is not a World Games preview. Who do you think your biggest competition will come from out of those three at the World
Hmm,
Games? Because you face all of them. You
hard to
can't
say.
because you're the only woman that has faced all three. You can vouch
It's
where the battle will be.
it's hard to say because the competition's happening in well over a year from now. So we don't know what's
Looking,
gonna happen
looking
until
at the
then.
progress and strength level now, who do you think will be a problem?
I would say either Carola or Dia because they're much lighter.
Mhm.
So it's much easier for them to get higher points than for Karlina. So it's one of them. I don't know which one. It depends on their attempt selection, that's for sure.
I know you're trying to be diplomatic there, so I get it. I understand. That's fine. That's fine. I
I'm
agree.
not.
But it's gonna be incredible to see that lineup at the World Games and you four guys going in the same weight class. It's just ridiculous. So what is it pushing this equipped then? If the goal is not to go to World Games as equipped now, so what's the appetite on it?
I just it's gonna be my last equipped meet now that Raw is at World Games. So I just want to hit some of my equipped goals that I've had in mind before. Because yeah, I thought I would keep competing equipped just for the World Games, but it doesn't make sense anymore. But I still want to hit a 300 kilo squat and an 800 kilo total.
So would that
That's
would
the
that would be
reason.
Agata retiring from equipped?
Yep.
Doesn't mean if fully equipped or just equipped fully, but you're still gonna do the bench equipped because bench equipped still have go money meat like the Arnold's coming in. So do you know what I mean? Is this something you still gonna pursue?
Yeah, I probably do a bench equipped meet at one point. I like benching equipped. And like a bench only meet is just so much less taxing and stressful than a full power meet, especially equipped. So yeah.
So I mean, in terms of like since powerlifting become your full-time job now, so at the moment you only do money meet, um, is this one of the reasons why you're doing this many meet in a year? Because a lot of people have said this and have comment on your acceptance to meet, saying, "Oh, she's doing too many meet. That's just a lot." So what's your thought around all of that conversation around? Because we all talking, even me. Sometimes when you tell me I'm gonna do this, I will like, for fuck's sake, what's wrong with you? So what's your thoughts, your mindset about all of you accepting and doing these many meets?
Well, first of all, I only competed 3 times last year, so it's not that I always do this many meets. And yeah, I do most of them only for the money. I know that I don't have to pick and go all out for every single one of them. And sometimes I just go either for fun or just to get the check, and that's it. It's my job, so I have to look at those money meets and do as many as possible because that's how I make a living.
I mean, I totally understand. So that is not even like a question there. But in terms of like powerlifting, of course, you're doing these money meets at the moment. You're making the money because you're winning, and then it's pushing the lifestyle and all of this funding, the financing the lifestyle. But when you come to the time where Agata will not be pushing anymore and winning anymore, is it that's when you're gonna probably jump into coaching because you need to find another source of income if you can't win money meets anymore.
Yeah, that that's like kind of the plan for me for the future. I also am forklift certified, so I could just jump on a forklift as my job. So we'll see
Forklift, you
which.
said.
Yep.
Jesus. So you just don't deadlift, but you're actually a qualified forklifter. You know, I
Yes,
know we call Jessica Bittner the Canadian forklift, and Anna we call him the human crane now. But you used to be a forklift. But these guys are just names. But you are actually qualified forklifter.
that's a joke I've been waiting to make for a while. Jess Bittner might be the Canadian forklift, but I am forklift certified, whatever that means.
You know what? I think I might change the title of this episode. Call it qualified forklifter, Agata Shitko. You know, the forklift is back. So yeah, I mean that's really incredible what you said there, like in terms of like the money meet comes in because the source of income and of course the plan leading forward to that. So yeah, 2024, the last meet is gonna be, of course I can say it's gonna be equipped. That's your last equipped that you're gonna be doing. So in terms of like if you have any advice to give someone who's doing both equipped and raw, what would that advice be?
I don't know. I would say plan carefully what meets you're doing to have time to prep for both, but I didn't listen to that advice myself. And I did an equipped meet 1 month after a classic meet, so I was just prepping for both at the same time. So I don't have any advice.
So let me rephrase this, right? So if you want to give a younger lifter or in someone not just young, because people just intend to think powerlifting, you just have to give an example what advice to youngers, but people that coming in new to the sport that are trying to do all of these meets, what would your advice be? Because you are doing them for a reason. So what would your advice be to someone that's picking me? I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. What would your advice be?
You don't do meets that aren't necessary. Like just plan for what you actually want to do, what you want to achieve with each meet, and do the ones that you know you have to do or just want to do for a reason and not just to compete. And also, you don't have to peak and prep for every single meet that you're doing.
Mhm.
You can sometimes go to a meet and not go all out if that's not necessary,
That's
because
that's no
you
going
can
out.
only pick so many times before you get injured.
So, but again, we mentioned they were saying no going all out if it's not necessary. How do you actually hold yourself not to go all out? Because sometimes you can decide, okay, I'm going to this comp, I'm just gonna have fun and then go all out. But when that bar is loaded, thing voice come into your brain, sometimes you just unchain your demons. How do you actually hold back? Because even me, like I've been lifting for 7 years, and then well, at the age I am, but when it comes to getting on the gym or getting on that platform, it's just hard to hold back. How do you do that?
Well, if I know that I don't need to get all my attempts to, for instance, win, like at the national meet to get qualified for a meet, I just only hit one attempt and that's it.
So basically, the secret is put one attempt, don't go for a second, don't go for a third if you don't need it, because you will push. Because if you go for a second, especially if that second just flies, you'll be like, let me try 20 more kilo, and you don't realize that 20 kilos is probably 5, 10 kilos above your PR. You know what I mean? So yeah, so miss your attempts. Anyone who's listening, if you're not going to have fun in the meet, just don't take all of the attempts if you don't need them, because it's just going to be hard for you to hold back after that second. You probably think, let me try the third. Let me see if it's gonna move. Do you know what I mean? Those demons are always there. So let's try and then hold them back. So Agatha, thank you for this. Thank you very much for coming in with me, chatting with me. I'm sure I have no started any rumor today. I have no started any rumor.
Yeah.
Right? So, but the only room I'm gonna take forward is Agata is coming to the Arnolds to break the 76 world record or get close to it, right? And Agata is going to Lithuania because I know Keotia was unfinished business with Karlina, but to me, it's not so much unfinished business with Karlina, it's so much unfinished business under 76,
Yeah.
right? Because Karlina is a world champion, yes. If you go and break that world record in Lithuania, it got nothing to do with Karlina. That is the 76 class that you're trashing. You know what I mean? So to me, Karlina on her side, I don't Karlina, she's not even saying I'm finished business with Agata because nothing to do with Agata because you've competed against Karlina once, I think twice, isn't it? Sheffield and World, and she's come on top both time. Right? But so you guys, the rest of the 76 is almost like, yes, we need to go and beat Karlina, which is understandable because she's the person to beat. She's there, she needs to be beaten. And then you're training for you to go and do that. And I can't wait for this. And the World Games, you have Karolina, you have Carola, and you have Leah. This is just going to be incredible. And then I cannot wait for this. Do you know if Carola is doing equipped as well?
I've talked to her and she said she wants to do both, but I think she's gonna choose classic when she finds out that she can do both.
So that means potentially Carola will be there at equipped
I
international.
mean, she said she wants to do classic more than equipped. So if she can do equipped, she's gonna choose classic.
No, right. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because I was thinking, if you go and do world equipped, and if Carola wouldn't do it in that weight class that you are in, that is makes things more interesting. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna chat to Carola, see if I'm gonna bring her back here, or I can get some rumors. I was like, Carola, Agata told me you're gonna do equipped. Are you doing equipped? So yeah, it's been really great, wonderful. Every time I talk to you, I love it. I love the energy, and I love the work you're putting in. You're coming to the Arnold in the next 2 weeks? It's the 15th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the next 2 weeks, and I wish you luck. You don't really need it, but let's just try for the sake of it because we're all Christian. Let's just try it, right? Good luck for the Arnolds.
Thank
Good
you.
luck for classic. Good luck for the equipped. And unfortunately, I won't be at the Arnolds. People weaker lifter like us will be at the Europeans, right? The ones that you guys decided not to do. I'm still pissed at you guys. All the big names
Mm.
decided not to do the Europeans. So you guys are literally ignoring the European, and you're killing EPF, right? Would you ever do the Europeans again, Agata?
I probably will at one point, but like it's their fault for
Moving it to March.
changing it, yeah, from December to March.
True, true. That's the problem. EPF, are you listening? You move it to a date where sometimes we can't get the elite and we can't push the Euros. So yeah, as I said, I will be the Euros and I wish you luck, but we'll be watching. And until next time, Agata doesn't have a program. She's not a coach. She doesn't have a programming business or she doesn't sell online. But if you need any advice or anything, any question, reach out to her. She'll be able to answer. As much as I said she's not a coach, but remember, she coached herself 6-time SPD a week and went to World and gave Jessica Bittner a fight. And Jessica had to pull the biggest deadlift, as Ryan always say, the biggest deadlift at that time in history in IPF for women for Jessica to win. That's Agata coaching herself. So it means, as much as she said the knowledge is not there, it's there. If you have a question, ask because me, I'd always do. So on that note, guys, give us a like, follow us, and if anything about the podcast you didn't like or you liked, drop it in the comment. If you want to come to the podcast, please drop me a message and I'll bring you in. On that note, speak soon.